whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrows. That's why we're sorrowful now. That's why you still have the Trayvon Martins that go on. That's why you still have the shooting in ghettos, man. The Most High, that's a curse he put on us as a people, man. What's up? That's good. That's good. Any questions?
Do you know who we are?
Yeah, I know who you are. I'm doing perfect.
Have you had a baby?
No, not yet. October.
Oh.
Yep.
Are you mad at us?
No, I'm not mad. I'm just in a certain zone, so, you know, dealing with stuff. What'd you say? I'm teaching the 12 tribes of Israel. You know why they call them lost 12 tribes of Israel? Because they were lost. they were dispersed out. You have a certain people today that are calling themselves Israelis, right? Well, there's 12 tribes of Israel. You know who Israel is? No, Israel's a person. You read the Bible, right?
Part of it.
Okay, well, that's why there's a lot of truth today, because you see all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world with the tornadoes, the wildfires. Something's happening, right? Somebody's doing it. Who would be doing that? Okay, so now God's gonna do something, but before he does destroy stuff, what does he do? He gives out truth. Like when Noah in the flood, before the flood happened, what did he tell Noah? Go out there and tell the people what I'm about to do. Nobody believed him. He was out there for 100 years telling people, hey, it's gonna rain. Because you know why everybody didn't believe him, why he said it was gonna rain? Because you ever wake up in the morning and you see dew on the ground? That's how the earth was watered before it rained. There used to be a mist that would come up from the earth and it's come back down and it watered the plants and everything. There was no rain. So before that time, that's the same thing that happens even before Sodom and Gomorrah. Before every major destruction, there's things that set up that happen before he destructs. But this one is the last one, and he's given the identity of our people. They call us Negroes, right? That's all we were. In history class in school, they teach us that we're nothing but, we came on the slave ships and that was it. That's our history. But it's bigger than that, okay? Because these people, the Negroes, it's the Negroes, Native Americans, and how you say so-called Latinos that are been, this is one nation. Okay, the children of Israel. Israel was Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons. And his 12 sons is going to be the progenitor of the promise. It's like the inheritance. If you have your child, right, and you have money, and you pass away, what do you write your inheritance to your child, right? So back then, it was even more practice. Back then, it had to be practiced like that. You see what I'm saying? It was a very vast amount of practice. So this is the Abraham, the promises went to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob, his name was changed to Israel, okay, after he fought with the angel. And he fought with the angel, and then after the sun was about to go up, and he said, let me go, let me go. He said, no, until you bless me. And he changed his name to Israel, which means in Hebrew, Yasharallah. In Hebrew tongue means Prince of Power. That means his 12 sons were going to be the patriarchs. We're going to have that blessing of the kingdom of heaven, okay? So now today, I'll read you something. You know the color, you know the Messiah, right? Jesus, they preach. You know that he had a look, you know that he had a color. Okay, well this is a King James Version Bible. You can pick this up any store. This guy was being drunk yelling at me, so the cops are here.
You're up here, he's up here.
So he was yelling at me and being pretty much belligerent, so.
Hey! It's okay now.
Well, this is Revelation. I'll read you the color of the Most High. This is Revelation. You know what Revelation is, don't you? What is it?
You got something up there last night.
Okay, revealing, that means to show. If you reveal something, I'm going to show you. If I reveal myself, I'm going to show you myself, right? Alright, this is Revelation 1 and 13, and it says, in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, like I have on now. This is tunics.
What do you mean and get your
He had an all white one on. And it says, at candlesticks, one like the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps with a golden girdle. You know what a girdle is? A girdle is not what women wear to make themselves look skinny. No, he wasn't wearing that. Don't picture him with a girdle on. It's a war belt. If you went to war, right, you wouldn't have a vest. Today, the modern day girdle would be a vest, because a vest protects your vital organs. So a war belt is what would protect your intestines, your liver, your all this good stuff.
I wasn't there.
Okay. war belts. That's what he had on. And it says his head and his hairs were white like wool. Okay? Who has woolly hair today?
We do have that right to keep you out of
The
it.
Negro man has woolly hair, right? And it says, and it goes deeper. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. Have you ever seen an older in age black man? When their hair gets real grayed out and white completely, even if their beard, they'll get all white, right? And it says, and his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were a flame of fire. And his feet like unto fine brass. Now, I have a brass key here. This is a brass key from the store. And this is not even a pure brass. It's just like a simple cheap brass. You see the color of brass, don't you? It's dark. Now it says, his head and his hairs were like wool. Let's go to verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in a furnace. Okay, now let's go into furnace. A furnace is not your stove at home electrical furnace. Your stove and furnace is wood that you put and you make. You know how wood fires get. If you take this bronze teeth and you stick it into a furnace, what color is this going to get?
Just know that if you go in there,
It's going to get really dark. Now, I ask you, if you now know that, who is this?
it's not inside the festival district. You get it. If you're inside the festival district,
Who is this guy that they put up all these churches? You can go to this church, we can go to any of these big churches. Who are you seeing there? This guy, right? Blonde hair and blue eyes. Is that hair of wool?
you don't have to. You've been verbally told.
That's not hair, that's
And all it
stringy
takes
hair.
is that.
Okay?
You've been verbally
Now,
told.
is his hair
Documented
white
in our system
as snow?
that for the 4th of July,
Now,
you are not
that's two contradictions. Now, is his skin burnt brass? It's not. This guy, they look alike, don't they? He was an actual real man. That was the son of the Pope, the 4th Pope. And this is his record right here.
Go ahead.
He was the son of the Pope. His real name is Cesare Borgia, the Borgia family. And his father made Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci, who painted these. The Pope at that time had great power. He told them to paint the Son of God as being his son, because he thought he was God. Because at that time, the Pope was pretty much the so-called word of God, the mouth of God. So this guy, they painted this, and it was a hoax. This is not the true image of the Most High, because this is what the great with the Red Crosses, not the bishops, I'm talking about the Crusades. This is what the Crusades was. Millions of people were killed. Jerusalem was gone after this. So I tell you today, this image is false. So now God is giving a true image of the Son, and it's a dark-skinned man. Yeah, but why? It is false, but it's been perpetuated as being true. So this is a slave. This is to keep a slave's mind down. Now this is great power to know this man, because this drawing, this is not, I'm not gonna say this is the image. This is just the artist's rendition. You see what I'm saying? You know what the artist's rendition would mean? If you would go to the book and draw the picture, that's more closer to him than anything. I mean, it may look strange and out there, but this is actually the image of the Most High and how he looks. Burnished brass, hair, wool, but they don't want to put this. And people be like, no, you can't say that. Doesn't matter what color he was. If it didn't matter what color he was, why would they change it in the first place? See what I'm saying? So we've been bamboozled. For years, I thought it was this image. So a handful of years ago, I thought it was this image. So now the truth is given out. It came out because these are the last days we're living in. It's going to come out who the two people are. And I'm going to read you something. This is out of Revelations, the next one. This is Revelations 2. I know you probably got to. This is Revelations 2. Verse 9, and it says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty. And he says, I know the stuff you're going through. I know you're living in ghettos. I know you're addicted to drugs. I know that all this stuff is happening to these people. That's tribulation. It's hard times. It says, I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. How are we rich? Because we're the heirs to the kingdoms. That's why we can do the special things we can do. That's why we can jump as high as we can. That's why we can run as fast as we can. This is the blessing that's been put on us. And this is what it says. I know thy works in tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue to say. Pretty much that's the gist of it. That's what I'm out here. You guys gotta go. You know, so thanks for stopping. That's my life. That's what I'm doing now. So.
There's a man that I wish that the store was still there, St. Charles.
Yeah. I mean,